Review Nation, and today I am covering Green Carnation's album Leaves of Yesteryear. Now, they released an album after 14 years on hiatus. Now, this band is, what could you describe them? Progressive metal band now, because they definitely have explored throughout their entire discography. You have amazing albums like Blessing in Disguise, which overall has such an epic gothic feel. Light of Day, Day of Darkness, which is a 1 hour long fucking song that incorporates elements of gothic, prog, death, and even doom. But of course, Green Carnation really changed their sound throughout their discography, such as you got The Quiet Offspring, which is a much more alternative rock style, and then finally we get Leaves of Yesteryear. After 14 years, they release one of the most proggiest albums they've ever released. Leaves of Yesteryear is none other than an epic ride, because there are some really nice transitions, really nice passages that if you like Dream Theater, if you like Threshold with a dab of Paradise Lost, you're gonna fucking well love this album. Overall, the production is crisp. One of the best producing albums I've heard by Green Carnation. Usually the production is not as good, but in Leaves of Yesteryear, it is top notch, and not to mention Kjell Nordhaus's vocals on this album are just absolutely fantastic. Love his dynamic range throughout this album. It's such a finely calibrated album. I am not even mad of them redoing their classic song, My Dark Reflections of Life and Death, which overall, it may be possibly better than the actual original version, in my opinion, but we'll talk about that later on. But let's get on with the first song, Leaves of Yesteryear. Some really nice dissonant piano melodies throughout this song that incorporates an element of surprise in that nice atmosphere. I love how percussion soaked this song is overall, which builds up to that growing crescendo chorus. Nordhaus's vocals on this particular song are just absolutely fantastic, and the beautiful guitar riffs as well, along with the prominent bass that provides that element of surprise. Heart and soul all combined. Some really proggy sections throughout. It's got those really punchy drums. What I love about this song is how fluid this song is overall. That is quite stunning and stylishly brilliant, as there are some really nice passages. Overall, this is a really cool song. It's all about maybe talking about depression, maybe talking about the doom and gloom of life itself. At times it's quite a head-banging song. Probably my favorite song off the album. Just a fucking awesome way to start off the album. It's well focused on one thing. There are some really nice time signatures throughout the song. I love the drum fills as well, incorporating elements of ghost notes. This song really provides such a melodic chorus as well. And the chorus is melodic, gets stuck in your head, and overall it's a pretty solid song by Green Carnation. Leads on to Sentinel. Am I just too blind to see? This is a much more hard-hitting song. I just love the chugging guitar riffs along with those really nice prominent bass lines. It leads on to, again, a killer chorus. Just really love the clean guitars as well. It just sounds like an overall such an ambitious but yet accomplished sound. Really reminds you of the old stuff like Blessing in Disguise, and songs like Lullaby in Winter, or even Into Deep, or songs like that. I just really enjoy how headbanging but yet blissful this song is overall. Leads on to some really nice keyboard moments as well. Nice solos as well that leads on to that killer chorus at the end. Another tight and cohesive song. And then we get one of the most interesting songs off the album, and that is the remake of, and that is My Dark Reflections of Life and Death. We all know what this song sounds like, and I gotta say that I absolutely adore this version. I really do. This is more of the progressive metal sounding song you expect from Green Carnation now, because in the original song, you had a woman who was also the vocalist, at times was out of tune throughout this song, and I gotta admit, that particular original version was a lot more heavier. This is more proggier. This is more proggier with some different passages throughout this song and even an Opeth-like feel. This does sound a bit like Opeth in my opinion. I do really love those really nice clean guitars throughout the middle of the section. But yeah, how heavy this song can get as well. Some really different time signatures. The overall ending of the song, I feel, is much more epic and grandiose than the original song, and I think Green Carnation have done so well to replicating their original song, and in my opinion, I think it's definitely better than the original. That's what I think, because I love how different sounding it is. Really nice synth moments throughout the song, some really nice keyboard moments as well, along with the soaring guitar solo you get throughout that conclusion. Song sounds fresh and harmonic. I just love it for what it is. Leads on to Hounds. Which is definitely, in my opinion, the proggiest song off the album, because there are so many different time signatures throughout this song, with some really nice vocal work by Nordhaus, and you get an amazing chorus as well, which is quite catchy. Again, sounds like that Green Carnation have really moved away from that gothic approach and are now focusing on that hard, heavy, progressive stuff. Although, after listening to this album a few more times, you could tell Green Carnation still has that gothic feeling. You could tell at times they do sound like bands like Paradise Lost, but they also sound like progressive legends like Symphony X, Dream Theater, and even Threshold. And this song, in my opinion, sounds a lot like Threshold, not to mention the vocals on this song and the overall lead up towards that final conclusion. But it's a really cool and in-your-face, energetic song. And then it leads on to Solitude, one of my favorite Black Sabbath songs. You just laughed when I begged you to stay. Now, Solitude, in case you don't know, was on the Master of Reality. What I really loved about the original was the pipe, was overall the woodwind pipes represented in that song. While Green Carnation do it differently, but in my opinion, it sounds pretty good. Crying and thinking is all that I do. I do love how they don't sound like Black Sabbath. Nordhaus's vocals on this particular song are really good. They do justice to Ozzy's vocals. Love his dynamic range throughout this song. It's got an awesome piano melody where they replace the woodwind pipes with the piano. And I do love that. I love how atmospheric this song is. And it's such a really harmonically rich song by Green Carnation. They really do it justice, in my opinion. They really make Solitude very different to the original Black Sabbath song. And I think if Tony Iommi listened to this, I think he'd be pretty fucking happy with the actual song. Where can I go to and what can I do? There's nothing really negative I can say about this album, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. I suppose one negative I could say is that you've been waiting for 14 years for another album to be released by Green Carnation, and all we get is 3 fucking songs, and 1 fucking remake, and 1 fucking cover. I mean, what the fuck? With a range of 45 minutes in length, you gotta at least make another fucking song, cunts. It's a pretty solid album by Green Carnation. I think it's a really good addition to their discography. So with Green Carnation, I'm giving this a solid 8.5 out of 10, and let me know if you've heard this album. And do you agree with my opinions as well? So keep discussion going in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.